tapi ay hindi ako. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be another exciting day because we are going pumpkin picking. It's going to be our first time and we dressed for the occasion. I have the farmer autumn vibes look and my husband has the... Explain your outfit.
Yeah, this is my Farmer John. Farmer John look.
So we are going to Hewitt's farm, but we're gonna have breakfast first. So see you there. Hello, we're now here at Hewitt's farm and look at all these pumpkins.
I'm not a pumpkin.
You're my pumpkin. And we've got a wheelbarrow to help us carry the pumpkins, and we've already spotted huge ones right over there.
I like the white ones.
Let's go. Whoa! They're huge. That's a medium one, the medium white one. Let's compare it to my hand. Do you want to compare it to your hand? That one's huge. What? How about the orange one? What? You like it?
Look at that plant.
Wow! It's got orange leaves.
No, this one.
Which one? Ooh! Wow!
Cool, innit?
What you got there?
Jack-o'-lantern.
Show us. Ooh. These are the pumpkins we've chosen so far. We've got a large one, a small, and a medium sized. And we're just looking for a white pumpkin. And he didn't find any. Show us your shoes.
This goes to the washing machine straight away when we get home.
That's a lesson learned for you. You knew you were going to a farm. Look at my shoes. Ugh. And we are back at home. We brought the pumpkins with us. I was planning to bake a pumpkin pie, but they don't have edible pumpkins in the groceries, and they don't even have a tinned pumpkin puree, so I can't do it. We will clean the pumpkins and then let them dry so that we can carve them on our next day off. So I'll see you then, a few days, maybe a week after this. Hello everyone, it's been a week since we've gone pumpkin picking. So I finally found pumpkin for cooking at Tesco. I bought one and today we are gonna try and make a pumpkin pie. I've never seen one, I've never eaten one myself, so this is going to be my first time, and so it will be interesting to find out if I like it or not. Now pumpkin pies are not really very popular here in the UK, not as much as the US, so I couldn't find any pumpkin pie from the bake shops around me. So I don't really have anything to compare it to. So that's gonna be, I don't know what it's gonna be. But let's get to it. I just quickly ran down to buy some plain flour because when I checked we didn't have any. So I bought some. Now I'm gonna tie my hair to get ready. Let's start by whisking together 2.5 cups of plain flour or all-purpose flour, depending on where you are. Here in the UK, we don't have all-purpose flour. We only use plain flour. I said that. And then we've got 1 teaspoon. Well, it's all mixed now. But basically what's in here is 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then we're all gonna whisk it together with the flour. And then we need 16 tablespoons of cold butter, and then we're gonna cut it into the dry ingredient mixture using, well, we should use a pastry cutter ideally, but I don't have one, so I'm gonna use the fork. It's important not to put it all together, just put it in tiny pieces. If you can, cut the butter into equal cube sizes, so I think that would be easier, but my butter just comes like this. See, I think it's easier for me. Just keep working the mixture until it resembles small pebbles. Now that looks like small pebbles. I think that those are small pebbles to me. We are going to add about a fourth of a cup up to a half of a cup of ice cold water, but we need to do it gradually and mix it with our hands until the dough comes together. The dough is coming together a bit now, see? I'm just being careful not to overwork the dough, otherwise the crust will be tough. It smells quite good actually. That's it. There's our dough. So divide the dough into 2 equal parts. That looks like a cabbage. Press flat onto a plastic wrap. And so we're gonna do the same onto the other half. So we are gonna put these 2 bad boys in the fridge to chill for at least an hour. While waiting for the dough to chill in the fridge, we are gonna start making our pumpkin puree. So these pumpkins were the ones we picked out from the pumpkin farm, and these are carving pumpkins. Now this one is what I bought from Tesco. It's a cooking pumpkin. I'm not really sure how to tell the difference, but I've read on the internet that while you can actually use the carving pumpkins for cooking, but they're not as good as the cooking pumpkins. That's why I'm gonna be using this for the pie. We are gonna start removing its stems. Now this is gonna be hard work. Let's try the first weapon of choice, the serrated knife. Oh crap. Oh. Well, that worked. And then we need to cut it in half. Wish me luck. Quite scary, quite scary. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. Great job! First weapon of choice. So we're gonna use the spoon to scrape the stringy parts and the seeds out of the pumpkin because we don't need it. Now the stringy bits are quite hard to take out, so you have to put your elbow into it and really scrape them all off. But even after that, there will be quite a few strands left. Get your baking tray and then put the baking paper over it. Oh, and I've cut the pumpkins further into wedges so that I can easily arrange them on the tray. Like that. You want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. Set the timer to 45 minutes. It's been 45 minutes and I've taken it out of the oven. Look how beautiful. It smells so good. You need to smell this. It's really good. I can't wait to puree it. This is how you're gonna test if the pumpkin is really cooked and ready for the food processor. You take a knife and then poke the pumpkin. If it goes without resistance and comes back out without resistance, then it is very ready. Now we just have to wait for the pumpkin to cool down so that we can peel the skin off. While waiting, I took out the dough from the fridge. Actually, it's been 30 minutes more than an hour, and we are ready to roll them out. First, we need to lightly dust our working space with flour so the dough doesn't stick. As always, fairy dust. So now we will roll out the dough. Also, don't forget to put a little bit of flour into the rolling pin. Now we need to turn this so we can get it into the size that we want it. We've rolled out both of the dough, but I forgot that for the pumpkin pie we only need one crust. This one is a bit larger, so we're gonna try and use this and see if it fits. Oopsie daisy, you have to be very careful because it's gonna tear apart. I know I've seen some techniques of how they do this, so it must be a little bit over the pie dish. There's a hole formed on the bottom, but not to freak out when this happens. You can just put dough over it and fix it like that. Just push it a little bit to fit the form of the pie dish, like that. Because you know what? When we put the filling in, anyway, we won't be able to see it, right? We take the excess dough and then just fold it inside. The ones that are too much, you can just cut it, I think. Okay. Fold it in like that. Look at this. This one doesn't have an extra inch of dough, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. And then with your knuckle, press gently so we create a beautiful shape, supposedly. Oh, it broke. So here it is, a perfectly imperfect pie crust. We're just gonna set this aside so we can make the filling. Now the pumpkin is cool enough so I can touch it and peel it off. I put the pumpkin in the food processor and we're gonna process it. It's time to make the pumpkin pie filling, and these are the ingredients. 350 ml of evaporated milk, 2 large eggs, 3 cups of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Also, we need about 15 ounces of homemade pumpkin puree. Our homemade pumpkin puree, yay! That's about 450 ml. And we're gonna need the pie crust that we made as well. First, we need to mix the sugar with the salt, cinnamon, ground ginger, and ground cloves. It smells so festive. It's time to beat the eggs. In a large bowl, we're gonna mix together the beaten eggs, the pumpkin puree, and then the sugar spice mixture. Mix them all very well, and then gradually mix in evaporated milk. Now we are gonna put the mixture into the pie crust. Preheat the oven again to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius. We're putting the pie in the oven. I'm excited for this because this is the final part. Well, the final part is tasting. But there it is, it's in now. Oh wait, I didn't set the timer. I know there's a timer in the oven, but I prefer it on my phone. 15 minutes starts now. 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, we are going to reduce the temperature to 350 degrees and then bake it for another 40 to 50 minutes or until the knife inserted near the center comes out clean. Okay, see you then. Hello, it's now 10:30 and I've taken the pie out of the fridge. And we've got our first slice of the pumpkin pie. So we're gonna taste it now. It tastes nice, but it's something new because I've never had it before. It does taste similar to pumpkin spice latte, only it's a pie. You can really feel the pumpkin essence in it because we use the fresh pumpkin. You wanna try it? Okay. Let's give it to the birthday boy. This is his birthday pie, but I just couldn't wait to taste it, so. I'll show them. Uy!
It broke off.
Oh.
It smells like cinnamon latte.
Because it has cinnamon.
I like it.
Yeah, I did say I like it. It's something new because I've
I
never
like it.
tasted it before. Really? Hee Seal of approval from the hubby.